We'll start in just a few moments. I can ask you all to move inside, take some seats, out of the sun.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the University of Southern California, CL Max Nikias.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. I said to Dr. Michelson earlier, we're here today to break ground for the largest building we're going to build on this campus, excluding the University Village. So I'm delighted to welcome you to this historic dedication ceremony. But before I begin, I would like to make some special introductions. And I would like to begin with our First Lady, my wife, Nikki. Also, I would like to introduce Mrs. Alya Michelson. She's here with us. Thank you. The next group I would like to introduce is our trustees, so please stand as I announce your name and remain standing so we can recognize you as a group, and please hold your applause. Verna Dotrieve is here with us, Carol Fox, Bob Paget, Lorna Reed, and Fran Cruz. Ladies and gentlemen, our trustees. Amy Ross is here, the President of the USC Alumni Board of Governors. Thank you, Amy. The next group I would like to introduce is our senior administrators. And again, please stand as I announce your name and remain standing so we can recognize you as a group. Elizabeth Garrett, the Provost and President-elect of Cornell University. Yeah, she deserves a round of applause. Thank you. I'll check you, our Senior Vice President for University Advancement. Hold your applause. We only do it for Beth. Bob Abels, our Senior Vice President for Finance and Chief Financial Officer. Carl Maushamir, the General Counsel and Secretary of the University. Tom Sales, our Senior Vice President for University Relations. I would also like to introduce Michael Crick, our Executive Vice Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Where is Michael? Right there. And also I would like to introduce, because this is important for this project, Lloyd Silverstein. Where is Lloyd? There he is, our Vice President for Capital Construction. Ladies and gentlemen, our senior officers. We have with us today LA County Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas. Where is Mark? He's in the back. California Senate President Pro Tempore Kevin DeLeon is here with us. Thank you. Thank you. I'm proud of you, Kevin. Thank you. And Dean Flores, the retired state senator and president and CEO of the 20 Million Minds Foundation. I know Dean is here. There he is. I would like to introduce our two deans who are here with us. Steve Kay, our dean of the college, Dornside College. And Yanis Yorchus, our dean of the Viterbi School of Engineering. So today, we breathe life into an extraordinary place that will bear an extraordinary name dedicated to improving the lives of others. As we break ground on the USC Michelson Center for Convergent Bioscience, we embrace the commitment of a man whose spirit of benevolence and determination inspires our own, Dr. Gary Michelson. In doing so, we embrace a new approach to science and medicine that Gary champions, one that recognizes how evolving disciplines shape our pursuit of concrete solutions. As many of you know, thanks to advances in electronics, medicine, biology, and engineering are poised for major breakthroughs in the 21st century. But science and engineering and medicine cannot be islands of research for the sake of research only. Rather, they must build off each other's revelations and revolutions. The greatest advances in human history occur not merely when the sciences collaborate, but when they converge on a particular problem with strategic purpose. In this world-class building, close to 30 world-class interdisciplinary teams from the USC Dornside College and the USC Viterbi School of Engineering will unite in common causes. Today, these unique explorers are exploiting advances in genomics and technology to deepen our understanding of living systems. When brought together at the Michelson Center, these scientists and engineers will translate their research into real-world devices and compounds to treat disease and improve the human condition as never before. We have already begun to find a home at the center for such researchers, including scientists, Dr. Steve Kay, a world expert on genes and circadian rhythms, Dr. Raymond Stevens, a renowned biochemist specializing in the structure of proteins, and his former colleague at the Scripps Research Institute, Dr. Peter Cohen, a prominent cell biologist, and Dr. Scott Frazier, a leading pioneer in quantitative biology and engineering. And these newly hired transformative scientists brought their entire teams with them. Just as Gary has made a tremendous investment in this novel enterprise, so too our university made investment in and commitment to the center's top talent. At USC Michelson, they will work at the heart of a major biomedical research corridor in Los Angeles, whose arteries will nourish progress throughout the region and the world. And this center will embody the dynamics that have defined Gary's many achievements, disrupting convention with quiet resolve and fueling innovation with material impact. And as a result, creating new business startups and products that will extend and improve quality of life. Gary's journey to redefining medicine began more than 5 decades ago. He and his 3 brothers were raised by his mother and grandmother. Gary's grandmother suffered from a crippling spinal disease that impaired her walking, caused relentless low back pain, and left her unable to feel sensation in her hands. One day, Gary's grandmother was cooking in the kitchen and severely burned her hand. But her spinal condition left her oblivious to her worsening injury, and Gary immediately jumped in to assist her, a memory that was permanently etched into his mind. His grandmother then said to him, "Oh, you will be a back doctor, so you will fix me." And that call to action would direct his life's career and work. An eventful act of loving kindness, a grandmother preparing food for her grandson, spurred a living commitment to improve the health and well-being of her and many others. Gary put himself through college at Temple University and later attended medical school at Hahnemann Medical College. It was there that one of his professors told him not to specialize in back surgery, warning him that back patients don't get better. Up to that time, spinal surgery was highly invasive, with tools and techniques consigning patients to a lifetime of chronic pain, disability, or impairment. Gary, however, could not accept such a plight. He recognized that minimally invasive surgeries were central to improving patient outcomes. After completing a fellowship in spinal surgery at St. Luke's Medical Center in Texas, he returned to LA, filled with ideas, and started his own spinal surgery practice. He began to develop new devices and techniques that were less invasive and expensive, and that turned low, difficult surgeries into safer outpatient procedures. Over the years, Gary has developed hundreds of instruments, implants, and methods that have revolutionized spinal surgery. Today, he has more than 900 patents to his name or pending worldwide. As a sole author, he has more patents than Thomas Edison. And these patents form the core of a life-changing industry that helps more than 700,000 American patients every year. Although he has retired from practicing medicine, Gary will never retire from helping others in need. With his wife, Alya, his philanthropic foundations support medical research, education, and animal welfare. Gary's foundation, 20 Million Minds Foundation, headed by former State Senate Majority Leader Dean Flores, is also in partnership with our university to expand education opportunities for Californians. Through the Michelson Medical Research Foundation, USC has a partner in transformative research at the intersection of engineering and biology. And in Gary, we have an insightful colleague who will advise the center's researchers at the crossroads of the theoretical and the transformational and the technology transfer. One of the most heartening elements of Gary Michelson's generosity is that until he decided to make his visionary gift, he had no ties to our university. And yet, the timeless mission of our noble university resonates with admirers and supporters from all walks of life, just as we seek to inspire and improve lives from all corners of the globe. Even so, we have all been moved by how quickly Gary Michelson has become a Trojan and an invaluable member of the Trojan family. Trojans know full well that a life devoid of service and leadership is a life worth living. And without fear or falter, Gary has dedicated his life to promoting life. His decades of invention and innovation define a man whose singular drive is matched by striking humility. Despite having developed hundreds and hundreds of innovations to improve spinal surgery, Gary Michelson has never named one of them after himself. He has noted that if you want to own it like that, then it's going to own you. Nobody needs to have their name up in lights, and there is no forever. But Gary, at USC, there is forever. There is something in perpetuity. In breaking ground on this magnificent and magnanimous building, we forever link your name with this university. In fostering the discoveries and advances that will emerge here, we forever tie your legacy to the countless lives of those who will benefit from this center's future breakthroughs. And through your support, you have created a lasting tribute to a beloved grandmother's enduring faith in her eternally devoted grandson. And for all this, our entire Trojan family is forever grateful. Thank you, Gary.
Let me thank Max for so many kind words. I'm concerned he might work for the NSA because he knows more about me than I know. So, to begin with, if we all look back there, I'm going to apologize to all the people that are standing and make you a promise. When we do the next building, there will be more chairs. So it's a hot summer's day, and you're out there in the backyard, and you're barbecuing for the friends and family, and the sun's baking you, and you go, wow, it would sure be nice to have a big old shade tree back here. Well, the best time to have planted that tree was 50 years ago. But the next best time is right now. The state of California has seen fit to subsidize clean air, electric cars, and by the way, my friend Alya said hi and thank you very much. They have also invested about $100 billion, or will, in building us a nice train that will go through the Central Valley that we all want. And I think these are worthy projects all. And our city, for its part, has invested and subsidized mega-billion-dollar corporations so that they could build skyscraper hotels, convention centers, entertainment complexes, sports arenas. And again, these are worthy projects all, I'm sure. But none of these projects will ever save a single human life or aid suffering from illness. We have to get our government, on behalf of us collectively, to act, to invest catalytically in building out the infrastructure for a vast medical research ecosystem that would be nucleated around the vision of this man and this university and the commitment to medical research. Now, it will help the world, but that's not why they should do it. They should do it because USC is busy right now turning out the next generation of entrepreneurs. We are rich in scientists. LA and California has the venture capitalists who are looking to build out the next Amgen or Genentech. And if the government commits to building out this infrastructure, they will come. It's Field of Dreams. They will come and it will reach a critical mass where they're coming on their own, because LA will be the place where the action is to do medical research. Los Angeles should become to medical research what Silicon Valley is to information technology. We owe it to the world. We owe it to LA. We need to invest in this. On behalf of my lovely wife, Alya, and no, she's not a professional model, that really is my wife. Stand up, let me just see you. Come on. Come on. And myself, we want to thank Max, who I think has extraordinary vision and commitment, the university, and all of you people who've been kind enough to come here today and to add to the great joy of this for us, for allowing us to be a part of this grand adventure. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Provost Professor of Biological Sciences, Chemistry, Neurology, Physiology, Biophysics for the USC Dornsife College of Letters, Arts, and Sciences, Raymond Stevens.
No idea where that came from. In 1497, Leonardo da Vinci drew the Vitruvian Man, a detailed proportional human drawing of two superimposed positions inscribed in a circle. Over the next 10 years, he drew a set of beautiful anatomical drawings that equal many of the imaging methods today. Since that time, more than 500 years ago, scientists and engineers have further defined the human body by diverging research into hundreds of subdisciplines of medicine, chemistry, engineering, physics, biology. Today, we begin the convergent path to bring science, medicine, and engineering together and see and understand the human body at the atomic resolution scale. One of our goals is to return the medical school phrase, treat the patient, not the disease, where we focus on the entire body, not just one aspect of the body. It's now widely accepted that one disease can have a pronounced effect on other diseases or other parts of the body or process. Genomics has taught us about the list of parts that we have that make up who we are. And it's important to understand the complete human genome, every aspect. Only by studying the body as a whole can we really understand who we are as people. And this needs to be done at the molecular, the protein, the cellular, the organ, the entire human body scale. Today, we get to celebrate the convergence of studying the human body between Dornsife College and Viterbi School of Engineering, together with other schools at the university, including the Keck School of Medicine and the School of Cinematic Arts. And when we finish the fundraising and building construction, all of these groups located in the Michelson Center will make a tremendous impact on our understanding of the human body and translational research. And in regards to translational research, I'm very pleased to be able to announce today, and will be announced formally next week, the formation of a USC Industry Academia Consortium, where we'll bring USC researchers together with 8 pharmaceutical companies into Los Angeles to USC, and this will have a very big impact, catalyzing a new frontier and opportunity for the USC community. Dr. Michelson, you're a pioneer and a trailblazer in the area of spinal surgery. Today, on behalf of my colleagues at the university, I thank you for trailblazing convergence, the convergence of scientific research and discovery that can help mankind. And I promise you that by creating the Michelson Building and Center for Convergent Biosciences and having the right combination of scientists and engineers, without silos, without barriers, we will make one of the biggest impacts on translational research efficiency, as well as understanding the human body since the time of Leonardo da Vinci, 500 years ago. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David A. Cohen, co-founder of Carlin Real Estate and president of Carlin Asset Management.
Thank you. What a great day. Before I start, I want to just thank Max. Thank you very much, and Professor Stevens for their gracious remarks on what the USC Michelson Center for Convergent Bioscience means to the university and to the academic community. I've known Gary for 15 years now and worked closely with him as his business manager for the last 10 years. During this time, I've watched him redirect his tremendously creative and inventive mind towards philanthropy. I'd like to take a few moments to share with you what drives this uniquely gifted individual. At the heart of all of Gary's endeavors lies really, I think, of one word, and that is compassion. His desire, and the word was used earlier, but his desire to bring catalytic change and improve the world motivates him every single day. And his lovely wife, Alya, an accomplished journalist, musician, and artist, and we all clapped for her before, but Alya is his partner and shares his intense passion for leaving the world a better place for the broader community. His support for this center also reveals his bold and what a bold and decisive visionary he is. I first heard of the USC's idea for such a center and was inspired to invite Gary to join me to learn about it firsthand. In our initial meeting with Steve Kay, Professor Fraser, and Michael Crick, here in the front, started to discuss science and really focused on some of the obstacles to bringing important science to patient care. And there's a big gap between what happens in a research lab and what eventually finds its way to benefit patients. So the meeting was just getting its own cadence after 10 or 15 minutes, and Gary requested a break to confer with me privately in the next room. So we left the room, much to their surprise, I might add, and literally 2 minutes later we walked back in the room, and Scott's smiling because he remembers this, and Steve as well, and Gary apologized for the break, and then casually said, as if he was asking someone to please pass the ketchup, and just said, yeah, I'm good, I'm supporting it, I'm good for that, and then quickly switched the conversation back to translational medicine and translational research. Well, as you can imagine, it took a couple minutes for these three gentlemen, these three academics, to grasp just how quickly Gary had made his commitment. Now I'm short-circuiting this here, but really that was, of course, after we resuscitated them. Now, I know USC is tremendously accomplished on many different levels. For instance, this university has produced more Olympic athletes than any other school in the nation. But I have to wonder, at 17 minutes total elapsed time, in the category of fastest major gift, I suspect Gary Michelson may have set another USC. Max quoted earlier appropriately Thomas Edison, and it is true that Gary has more patents than Thomas Edison, according to the US Patent Office, which is just remarkable. Thomas Edison once said that vision without execution is really hallucination. While some may be humbled by overwhelming aspirations, Gary always merges foresight with implementation. So these are the qualities that drive my friend Gary Michelson: extraordinary compassion, boldness, vision, and the ability to execute. These traits have brought us to this pivotal moment for science and medicine at USC and the promise of a better future for generations to come. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back President Nikias.
Supervisor Wrigley Thomas, join us right here in the front. You have already been introduced. Thank you for coming, Mark. And I should tell everybody that Supervisor Wrigley Thomas has been a very strong advocate for the growth of biomedical technology startups in LA County. Gary, before we do the business of the groundbreaking here, we have some presents for you, some gifts. And the first one, ladies, do you want to bring it up here? You can see this is something you can hang on your walls with Alya, and these are beautiful renderings of the Michelson Center for Convergent Bioscience. It's just beautiful.
All three of them. There you go. Thank you so much. Here we go.